I hereby call the session to order. Would anyone like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? No, okay. I will lead us all in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. We will now call the roll. Mr. Clerk, please go ahead.
Senator Gatsby. Senator Gatsby is absent. Senator Jacobs.
Present.
Senator Nguyen.
Oh, present.
Senator McTavish is present via proxy. Senator Payne. Senator Payne is absent. Senator Parker. Senator Parker is absent.
He said present.
Present.
Did not hear him, I'm sorry. Senator Sawyer.
Present.
Senator Steele.
Present.
Senator Boston Man is absent. Senator Walsh.
Present.
With 6 present, we have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Tonight on the agenda, we have 6 items. The first item is House Floor Resolution 1701, Amendment to Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution. Item 2 is House Floor Resolution 1702, Overseer Ruling Revocation Resolution. Item 3 is House HR 1703, Freedom of the Press Act of 2017. Item 4 is S 1706, Overseer Redefinition Act. Item 5 is S 1707, Steel Senate Confirmations Amendment Act. And item 6 is S 1708, Amendment to the U.S. Code of Laws. Does anyone motion to modify the agenda?
I motion to proceed to a vote on the agenda.
Is there a second?
I
Second.
All right. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Senator Jacobs.
Aye.
Senator Nguyen.
Aye.
Senator Parker. Senator Parker votes
You voted aye.
aye. Yeah. Senator Sawyer.
Aye.
Senator Steele.
Aye.
Senator Walsh.
Aye.
6 in the affirmative. The agenda is confirmed.
All right. Thank you. The floor is now open for opening remarks.
I motion to proceed to the items on the agenda.
I second.
All right. With that, we'll move on to item 1 on the agenda. HJ Res 1701. The floor is now open for debate.
I request.
Mr. Walsh, you're recognized.
Just clarify, because I don't have the agenda in front of me. This is the amendment on stating that we get 1 representative for each 500 members.
Yes.
Okay. This bill, I think, has good intentions, but honestly, I could see this as a potential issue if we were to spontaneously become more popular. For example, if we were to amass to, in the future, 20,000, 30,000 members by advertisements and our group expanding, then we would have upwards of probably 30, 40 representatives in the Congress, which would pose as an issue. That's issue number 1. Issue number 2 is I feel that the number of representatives and members of the Senate should be not based on population, but based on our understanding of the activity at the time and whether or not we feel that we're ready as a country to increase. I think recently we haven't had, we haven't had 15 for not very long. It's been like 3 or 4 months. I think we had 12 before. I think we need to stick with 15 for, I would say, a few more months, and then we can consider increasing it. But I think at this time, 15 is just fine. I don't think that it should be based on population, honestly. just because, problems we could face in the future. And so with that, I oppose this, and I urge my colleagues to vote in the negative, and I yield.
The floor is still open.
Motion to proceed.
I second the motion.
All right, we'll proceed to a vote on item 1. Mr. Clerk, please call a roll.
Senator Jacobs,
Nay.
Senator Nguyen,
Nay.
Senator Parker. Was that an A or a nay? I could not hear him.
He voted in A.
Nay.
He's voting in game.
I can't even see his chat in game. Senator Sawyer,
Nay.
Senator Steele,
Nay.
Senator Walsh.
Nay.
7 in the negative. The act fails.
All right, we'll move on to item 2, House Joint Resolution 1702. The floor is now open for debate.
Oh shit! What was this again? Oh, the overseer ruling. I
Yeah.
request.
Senator from Texas recognized.
Just very quickly, we were supposed to have Constitutional Convention today. I'm not sure what happened with that. But in that Constitutional Convention, I think there's going to be overwhelming support for the group manager system, and that we'll be shifting away very shortly from the system of overseers. And so that this would render this bill obsolete once we were to move over to that group manager system, which is most likely going to pass the Constitutional Convention. And, some people, the author of this bill may say, well, what about until the Constitutional Convention when we still have overseers? Well, the overseers were removed, and so we have 0 right now until the Constitutional Convention. So there's really no issue with that either. So I don't see the purpose in this bill anymore. I urge my colleagues to vote nay, and I yield.
The floor is still open. Mr. Parker, you're recognized. I'd like to remind the senator from Texas, whenever you're speaking
Oh, yeah. Thank
on
you.
the floor, please stand up. Thank you.
I request.
The senator from Texas is recognized.
I remember to go to the podium this time. Firstly, to respond to the senator, what if he was to go back on his promise? Pierre has already released applications for the group manager system, and he's currently taking names for the position and figuring out who he's going to... He's already talked to me about potential names, and it would really be bad public PR, I guess, if he went back on that promise after already having stated he's going to put in a group manager system. He's already taking applications. And after what happened recently with Clements, he doesn't want to appear as a tyrannical group holder and go back on this promise and put overseers in power, giving them ruling power and all this good stuff. So I see it very unlikely that Pierre does this, but if he happens to do it, I would be in favor of this. If it happens in the next couple of weeks that he does turn back on his promise, I would be in favor of supporting this amendment to restrict the power on the overseer, but as of right now, I don't see a need for it. And that's why I still oppose this bill, and I yield.
The floor is still low. Mr. Parker recognized.
Is that a question directly to me, or is he still speaking?
He's still speaking.
No. I request once more.
The senator from Texas recognized.
Yes, firstly, I once again highly doubt that Pierre is going to spontaneously give up the group within the next 1 or 2 weeks before implementing this group manager system. And then again, if he did give up the group, then I would be in favor of this amendment again. But we can't put the cart before the horse and pass this just to prepare for that. We need to see if he gives the group up, see if he goes back on his promise, and if he does that, we can pass the amendment. But we don't need to pass the amendment in preparation for this because we have no overseers. We have no reason to be fearful that he's going to go back on his promise. There's no evidence to indicate that he's continuing keeping overseers or putting more overseers. There's no evidence to support the fact that he may give up the group. So really this amendment is useless until the author has any evidence or reason that he would do any of those things. And I yield.
The senator from Kentucky is recognized.
I motion to proceed to a vote.
I second.
Second.
I will proceed to vote on the item. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Jacobs.
Nay, nay.
Senator Lynn.
No.
Senator Parker. Senator Parker votes aye in game. Senator Sawyer.
Nay.
Senator Steele.
Abstain.
Senator Walsh.
Nay.
With 2 in the affirmative, 4 in the negative, and 1 abstention, the act fails.
We will move on to item 3 on the agenda, HR 1703. The floor is open for debate.
Hold on. Freedom of the Press Act. Oh, I request.
Senator from Texas recognized.
Give me a second here. I remember I had something I found in this bill. In the bill, it states that. Let me see. Says the person who acts as a source must inform the news outlet in writing if they wish to waive this right. Otherwise, the identity of the source may not be disclosed by the news outlet. And as I further read this bill, I noticed that. I noticed there wasn't a specific portion of U.S. Code amended or added specifying what legal action could be taken to I guess, legally challenge a news outlet if they were to violate this act. So I would urge my colleagues that we fail this bill and send it back to the House to ask them to add in some kind of provision to U.S. Code in a max sentence or something like that that states what the violation is and what the max sentence is, so that this bill can be properly enforced. And I yield.
Senator from Kentucky is recognized.
motion to proceed to a vote.
I second.
Is there a second?
I
Yep.
second.
Yeah, there was a second.
Okay. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Senator Jacobs,
Nay.
Senator Nguyen,
Abstain.
Senator McTavish votes aye via proxy. Senator Parker. Senator Parker votes nay in game. Senator Sawyer.
Nay.
Senator Steele.
Nay.
Senator Walsh.
Nay.
5 in the negative, 1 affirmative, and 1 abstention. The act fails.
Move on to item 4, S1706. The floor is open for debate.
Motion to proceed to a vote.
I second.
Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Jacobs.
Aye.
Senator Nguyen.
Abstain.
Senator Parker. Senator Parker votes aye in game. Senator McTavish votes aye via proxy. Senator Sawyer.
Aye.
Senator Steele.
Aye.
Senator Walsh.
Aye.
With 6 in the affirmative and 1 abstention, the act passes.
We'll move on to S1707. The floor is open for debate.
Motion to proceed to a vote.
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Senator Jacobs.
Aye.
Senator Nguyen.
Aye.
Senator McTavish votes aye via proxy. Senator Parker. Senator Parker abstains in game. Senator Sawyer.
Aye.
Senator Steele.
Aye.
Senator Walsh.
Oh shit, I forgot. Aye. That's it.
With 6 in the affirmative, 1 abstention, the act passes.
We'll now move on to the last item on the agenda. Item 6, S1708. The floor is open for debate.
Motion to proceed to a vote. If anyone wants to, there you go.
Hey, clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Jacobs.
Aye.
Senator Nguyen.
Aye.
Senator McTavish votes aye via proxy. Senator Parker. Senator Parker votes aye in game. Senator Sawyer.
Aye.
Senator Steele.
Aye.
Senator Walsh.
Aye.
With 7 in the affirmative, the act passes.
All right. Seeing as there are no items left on the agenda, the floor is now open for closing remarks. The senator from Kentucky is recognized. The floor is still open.
I motion to adjourn.
I second.
All right. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Senator Jacobs.
Aye.
Senator Nguyen.
Aye.
Senator Parker. Senator Parker votes aye in game. Senator Sawyer.
Aye.
Senator Steele.
Aye.
Senator Walsh.
Nay.
With
Nice
6
job.
in the affirmative, 1 in the negative, motion passes.
All right, this session's hereby adjourned.